Go. Welcome, everybody. Ace Training Podcast, episode 8. There's a lot of news this week, like a ton of news. We got secret leaks. We got the new game. We got a billion cards, literally a billion cards to talk about, which we'll discuss in a minute. But first, we'll start off. My name's Shorts, that's Necro. You know the vibes. You know the deal.
You know the drill.
Exactly. VGC and TCG events coming up, Rose. You are flying, or like you're driving at least, tomorrow. Like you are leaving tomorrow for these events.
Yeah, like by the time this episode airs, I think I will be like in the Midwest. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm trying to remember timelines. I can't figure it out. But yeah, I'm leaving for the Milwaukee Regionals, and then we've gotten the North American International Championships right after that. So I'm just going to be hanging out, just at least working Milwaukee Regionals. So that's pretty cool. But it'll be nice to be able to see kind of the competition. And this is the last stop before the World Championships. So last little bit of time to get your championship points in to qualify for Worlds. But North American International Championships, that's the big one. That's the last event ever before this World Championships.
It's literally coming down to the wire, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, everybody's looking for those championship points. You've got to do well at this event, and good luck to obviously all the participants, both the VGC and TCG Milwaukee. Is that correct?
I think we also have Go at
Go
Milwaukee.
As well? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, we discussed that before, that they're integrating Go into the circuit, which is really cool. But yeah, last event coming up. Make sure you catch Rose on the broadcast. It's going to be pretty sick. I myself have been playing a lot of VGC. Not been doing so hot, I'm gonna be real, but God bless rental teams. Jesus. Yeah, hard, very, very hard game. It's I'm just getting to the point where I think I can read people fairly well. Colossal teams, I have a special place for you in my heart because I hate you so much. God damn. Colossal teams, max speed, even though I have tailwind up and you still roll me. Not fun to play against, but I'm slowly getting to the point where I think I can counter them in my head, and at least I know what they're running when they show up on my screen. So yeah, nice. Maybe you'll catch me at one of the tournaments soon.
Let's go.
Dominating. Probably not though. Maybe as a commentator, we'll see. But yeah, I'm super excited to watch a lot of the stuff going down, because I think in general, for me, who's like very much like hardcore getting into the VGC at this point, it's good to see how teams are piloted by all these different like world level players, and seeing all the different variations of the teams too, which is also really exciting. And like I said, blast up rental teams, because there's no way I could train up a team like people have been used to pilot a lot of these world-class teams. That's been great. TCG is obviously going to be fun to watch too. Yeah, what are you most looking forward to actually for more?
Honestly, I think it's just like the meta, the changes in the meta that we usually see right before the World Championships. Like, honestly, when we came back to live events, I was like, things are going to be pretty stale. I feel like, it's going to be a lot of like that Groudon Charizard team, Rinya's Sun. It's going to be a lot of Mew VMAX. Like, that's just what we're going to see. And that's not really true. Like, the past few events, I think we've had a very transitionary meta for at least VGC. And so I'm hoping that we just kind of continue to see some innovation as we get to these next events.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, not only, I guess, in Pokemon, but just in general in other esports and other games that have tournaments. When you have this small break, people like go into the cave, they go into the back cave and just try and come up with counters to what is being currently played, and then they try and test it online, and then people are like, oh, you're running that's weird, like maybe I'll run this, counter this. So like there's always like small like innovations from tournament to tournament, which is quite cool. Even in obviously one of the games we cast, Overwatch 2, which is true. There's different small variations of comps, like wow, people running this now, maybe we should run this because it's like A is strong, so we should run B, and then teams are like, oh, we should run C because it counts B, so it's definitely the most interesting coming into a tournament and rolling through the days too, because people can make adjustments. So yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait. Obviously that'll be on the Pokemon Twitch channel, so you can check that out, and yeah, it's going to be a good time. So we'll get into the next topic. This is more TCG focused, Rose. We have a interesting, I would say, leak, but it was like an accidental reveal of some of the new stuff that's coming out. Lost Origin for Sword and Shield, the next expansion pack. Thanks to Poker Guardian, we found the tweet here. Pokemon Center USA, accidentally put up one of their images for Lost Origin.
Yes, I did notice that there had been a ton of chatter about this, and obviously, like, as a leak, like, was it an accident? Was it just like, I feel like it had to have been, and honestly, between now and when this could potentially be releasing, things could change. But I thought it was so cool to see that, like, there's this, like, Lost Origin, like, I don't know what you think of looking at the theme of the whole set, but I think the name looks really cool. So I'm
Yeah.
expecting some, like, cool stuff from it. I don't know.
Anything like galaxy, like you see it's like Lost Origin, there's like a galaxy like,
Yeah.
kind of print. I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm excited. Like, I don't know what sings to me about like space themes, but I've always thought they're pretty cool. And Giratina is the box art by the looks of it, or at least the flagship. Okay, Giratina is going to be on the sleeves, I assume, and like the little boxes, which is really cool. And it looks like he's breaking through some time rift, which makes sense. That's very thematical, which is
Palkia and Dialga, yeah.
Yeah, which is quite cool because we've already had Palkia and Dialga in the last couple of sets with the Arceus. Or Legends of Arceus, sets, which is fairly cool. So maybe we don't see them in Lost Thunder. I don't know if they're going to print them back to back. There's a small possibility, but in my mind, Rose, I think it's like Deoxys, because we haven't seen a big old Deoxys card in quite some time, and Deoxys fits in that like space theme.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, when I take a look at the fact that Giratina is like on the box or like is a part of the artwork, I do kind of think that, oh wow, well maybe this is like the platinum expansion to like the Diamond and Pearl, right? Since I think Giratina was a part of platinum.
Giratina, I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, Giratina was platinum. Yeah, so
platinum,
that's kind of like what it reminds me of. So maybe we are going to see some of like the more platinum inspired.
Wait a second. I'm zooming. I'm enhancing this image. Okay, so
pause.
Well, why did I not think to do this before? I'm so stupid. Okay, so Hisuian oh my god, Zoroark. Okay, so that's Hisuian Zoroark for definite.
Yes, for sure.
Oh my god. Okay, I think that's Latios. Or Latias, sorry. I think. Just going on the little horns on the head, if you can see. Like the blue. Looks like a dragon head.
Ew, sorry.
Easy.
I think you're right. I think that is a Latias.
But what about this one? Is this?
What about the second one? I don't know.
Oh man. Why am I'm racking my brains right now trying to think. I feel like I've seen this Pokemon before. It's like a mythical, or it might be
Oh my god, I know what that is.
It's Hisuian something, right?
Oh, no. It's like the new genie from Legends Arceus that like I swear I never.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, like I remember looking at this Pokemon and I swear it is a real Pokemon. Like it is like, you know exactly which one I'm talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
This one is like so weirdly like unique.
Yes. It's a genie. Like that's what it looked like.
Genie.
Yeah.
It is a genie. It's oh my god. This is like actually bothering me. It's like oh my god, what is it called? What is it called?
Beyond Cerebi? I don't know.
It had yeah, it's like new. Oh my god.
I know exactly what Pokemon you're talking about though. I've seen the image.
Oh my god, it's it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Because it's a new mythical.
Enamorous.
Enamorous, there you go.
That one, that's what that is. It's Enamorous. I can tell. I see the face. It's a real Pokemon. It's so creepy looking.
It is very strange.
Pokemon.
Oh, okay. I just found the Bulbapedia link. Let me just bring this up on the screen. Okay, there we go.
That thing.
That is definitely this. Look at the spikes on the head there. It's got like 4, right? Yeah. It's definitely definitely an Amorous. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Detectives right here. Pokemon detectives. High roast for the second film. So,
Love it.
Hisui and Zoroark, Enamorus, Giratina, and Latias, I think. It's hard to tell with the other side of the box image. I'll quickly scroll over so the viewers can see, but it's difficult. I'm just going on the head here and the blue, but it could be anything, to be fair. It could be Rampart for all we know. Or Rampardos, yeah, I'm thinking of the Apex character, Rampardo. It could be Rampardos for all we know. Yeah, okay, so cool. I didn't actually think about doing that. Wow, live on screen detecting right there. So yeah, Lost Origin. It looks pretty cool. Like I said, I'm a big fan of like the space themes and that kind of stuff. So having that is great. And not gonna lie, Latios. I've got a mini plush over on my little shelf over there. Some of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So big up. Hopefully we get some cool like radiant form would be really sweet, or just like VMAXs and stuff like that, which would be really cool too. So yeah,
that'd be cool.
There you go. No idea obviously when it's going to be launching, but this is just the back of the Build and Battle Stadium, so they must have uploaded that by accident over the most recent set, I assume, and then people were just like on it, you know. And people do that, like, you know, people are checking, and yeah, so I don't know if there was an accident or it was a whoopsie daisy, whoa, we put that out there, like, you know. I like to think in my head that's how they do it.
An accident. Yeah, I don't know though. We'll have to see. Hopefully it sticks though, because Last Origin looks really, really cool, and I feel like it would be such a neat theme for a set. So looking forward to it.
It's a little bit different from what we've seen recently. Everything's been like quite sparkly and like woo, you know. But this one seems to be a little bit more grungy, like a little bit more dark, which is sweet, like Space and Time, Giratina, etc. Yeah, so there's the small leak preview, I guess, of Lost Origin. Some of the biggest news we need to cover, Rose, is the Scarlet and Violet. I thought we did this last episode, but we didn't. We haven't actually talked about it yet.
No, we briefly touched on it, but since that episode, we have had an enormous amount of news, because we have the brand new trailer that got launched for the game, and it's told us so much more information. So like for Scarlet and Violet, there's a very clear future and past sort of juxtaposition in themes. So you have like Pokemon Scarlet, which is going to be more kind of past oriented, because you have Professor Sada, who also looks like one of the
he looks like Giga Chad, the meme.
Oh, Turo? Yeah, Turo actually does look like Giga Chad though. And so that's the Violet Professor with like the big like futuristic more looking dragon for the box legendary. But it's pretty cool about how they kind of have decided to make this theme come to life. Yeah,
it's definitely a different one, past and future. And I wonder if there's going to be, oh man, I mean, I guess they can't really go, oh, the past gets all the old Pokemon, you know what I mean? But like, I wonder how they interweave a lot of like the older Pokemon and the newer Pokemon and whatnot, because that kind of difference, I don't think we've seen that much of a stark difference before between both games. I'm thinking of like, you know, Ruby and Sapphire is all about weather, you know. Hello everybody, welcome back. Okay, Rose had a little problem, little tech issue. It's okay, just a whole apartment that's shutting down, but you know, it's fine.
I don't know what happened.
All good. So Scarlet and Violet, I almost called it Sword and Shield. I was just saying that the new Pokestops look quite cool. They look like little gas stations. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Oh my god, I saw the funniest tweets about it too, because people are like, now you've got to go pay like, you know, $8.50 to heal a Pokemon or something. God. And I was like, oh no.
Please, no. Can you imagine if they started charging for the first time ever? Oh my god. The economy in the Pokemon world would collapse.
I think so.
Lord. Yeah, in general, I think the game looks great. Like, it's a Spanish type region, right? Or like a Spanish influence.
Yeah, it is.
At least, which is cool. Pokemon have never been to, at least in the games, have never been to the Spanish region, or like the European region down there, which is quite cool. So, and Spain is a beautiful country too. So what a fantastic way to like have some influence in the game, just Spanish architecture and whatnot, which is great. I've been a few times, and yeah, I've loved every second of it, which I've been there. I'm hoping maybe one day we go to like a Nordic country. That would be kind of cool. Sweden or Norway, it's like permanently snowing. I think that would be kind of awesome. Like maybe Viking. Maybe I'm stealing ideas, or maybe I'm coming up with ideas that the Pokemon Company are going to steal. Don't know. Free ideas. There you go. You can take them. But yeah, we're seeing the legendaries right now, the box legendaries up on the screen. And yeah, like you were saying, Rose, the disparity between like the past and the future, I think is quite cool. We were talking about what kind of types they might be just before we started the podcast. And it's got to be dragon. The base type has to be dragon.
I think so. I mean, they look too much like lizards.
Yeah.
You know, like Koraidon, the box legendary of Scarlet, looks a lot like an Aztec kind of lizard-looking thing to me. And then Miraidon, I've seen so many fan arts of this Pokemon where, like, you know, the Yu-Gi-Oh season that they're like dueling on motorcycles.
God,
because
no.
that does exist.
Did not see that. I'll take your word for that.
Koraidon and Miraidon kind of look like they could transform into motorcycles. It's like the chest kind of looks like a wheel.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's your new mode of transport, just riding around on a poker cycle. That's what they'll call it, the poker cycle. Exactly. Jesus. I'd love it. I, for one, would really enjoy that. An electric motorcycle.
It'd be hilarious. I think it'd be so funny. So, there you go.
Yeah, all the it's now one question I've actually got. We're just scrolling through some of the screenshots as opposed to what we're talking about. But one question I've got is it going to be more like Arceus, where you are wandering around and there are Pokemon in the brushes? It's like Sword and Shield in that aspect, but are we going to have that kind of catching mechanic like it is in Arceus? And the way you obtain XP and then go into battles and stuff, is it going to be more like that, or is it more traditional Pokemon?
So I've actually heard that it's going to be more like Arceus. So some of the text that I have seen released about the game has said that it is entirely open world, and there is no specific line you need to follow in order to progress through the game.
Interesting.
So what I'm going to interpret from that is that you can go to literally any city that you want and don't have to do anything in any given order. So I do feel like while there will be kind of like a specific level or like an average level for an area, so like you might want to have to consider making sure that your team is strong enough to enter into an area like that, it's still going to be very much on you to figure out how you want to approach your own adventure.
That's interesting.
That's what I think.
And I think that kind of leads open to just scaling levels as well. I guess everything kind of scales around you. If you want to do the... Well, I guess you can't number them anymore, the gyms, but maybe you want to do... We'll say there's an electric gym and a grass gym. Well, you want to do the electric gym super early on in the game, the Pokemon will be a little bit weaker. And then, later game, you might want to do the grass gym or like, I don't know, the rock gym or whatever gym last. I guess that will be scaled to your levels, which is quite nice in a sense. I guess I'll miss the kind of linear pathway of earning the badges like it's a rite of passage. That's what I always had in my head, was just like, okay, the rite of passage, you getting individual badges and then you working your way up. But I'm down to try new things. I think obviously sticking to the same formula for this many years it's been extremely successful, but diverting slightly, I think it's quite a cool way of doing things, and it gives a little bit more freedom to the player and going and finding different Pokemon first that they might not necessarily get initially when they start out like a more traditional journey, if you will. I wonder if there is going to be a point where you can maybe choose your starting zone as well, if that's a thing. Like, maybe you can start here because they're just scaled levels.
Yeah, potentially. I do wonder if where there will be kind of like a World of Warcraft style thing of like you get to start like here, like pick a zone. Yeah. And you could kind of just start there. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But I do wonder, like, just how big then the overall game world is supposed to be. Because Arceus is quite big. But is Scarlet and Violet also going to be that expansive?
Yeah, I guess it depends how big the game world is in that sense too. But I mean, well, we'll have to wait and find out. Of course, it is
Yep.
launching later this year, which is going to be fairly exciting for Switch, of course. Yeah, I'm super pumped. I just got the picture of I'm assuming one of the stadiums on the screen right now,
Yeah.
which looks
So cool.
pretty neat. All outdoors, and you have some sort of pathway leading underground, and yeah, it looks cool. Okay, maybe I'm leaning too much into this and reading too much
Okay.
into this, but the little symbols at each end, I don't know what they look like. They either look like boats or they look like a dragon head. Not sure. Maybe a sailing boat or a dragon head. Little wave at the bottom there in the bottom right hand corner. Don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking too far into this, but it looks pretty sick. And it looks like you have different weather conditions too, is something I wanted to point out. So on the left-hand image, there's like a dust storm, like sandstorm. And then on some of the other bits of gameplay footage you've seen, which is snowing too. So you get, it reminds me, some of the old games do that as well. They have the rain and whatnot, but seeing it in a big 3D environment, I think is always quite cool. So that weather effects are going to be a really interesting thing to kind of combat. Maybe your character does certain things in the different weathers, or you can't trespass there. Or it's like Ruby and Sapphire, you need the go-go goggles for the desert area. Maybe that's how they kind of lock bits of content around if it's not like fully opened up to everybody. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It looks great though. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a new Pokemon game. What more? I just want to know the typings. I'm getting heavily into VGC, so I am very much like, what are the typings of everything? What matches up against what? What gimmick have they got this year? And that's another thing too, actually, Rose. What kind of big thing do they have? Mega evolutions we've had the Z moves, we've had the Dynamax, Gigantamax, etc. What is happening this year?
I don't know. I think nobody knows. Like when we originally saw the logo for Scarlet and Violet, there was like a little like gem kind of like in the middle of the title. And so we were like, oh, wow, that kind of looks like the Z crystal that they included or like the Mega Stone that they included when Megas and like Z crystals ended up getting into the game. I don't know if it's on the actual box artwork, but I did remember seeing it from like the kind of like the I don't remember, but it was definitely like you could see the parallels being drawn. And so there was a tiny crystal type thing.
Interesting.
There's been talk about it, but I think it's too early to tell what the mechanic is going to look like.
Yeah, maybe some sort of whenever I think like crystal, I think of like a power up move, like something probably if the past and the future, maybe it's something to do with time and stuff like that. Not sure. Maybe you get to call back an attack or call forward an attack or something like that. Don't know. Speculation is going crazy right now. We can't just dig too deep into the weeds, otherwise we'll be here for hours.
True.
But yeah, Scarlet Violet look great. I know you can pre-order them. I actually have a free or like one of the little coupon codes you get for buying the passes on the Nintendo store. So I'll probably just pop it down on Violet. I like the look of that dragon more. What do you prefer right now? Just looking at box arts.
I definitely want Scarlet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the game that I'm going to go for.
All right, going for past, and I'll go for future easy mode. Then we can trade. It's great.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's Scarlet and Violet. I'm sure there'll be more news later down the line, which we'll definitely cover. More of a meta Pokemon thing that I wanted to bring up. Thank you to Poker Beach, of course, for providing a lot of this news. But the Pokemon TCG company, or like Pokemon TCG, sold a record 9.1 billion cards. Like, billion cards sold. That's not even like printed. That's sold. How insane is that number? 9.1 billion. And like, I don't know if anybody's ever watched those videos on YouTube where it's like the scale of numbers and like how the human mind really can't comprehend how big of a number, like even like a million is. Like,
it's a lot.
If you think about percentages, like 0.000, you know what I mean? Like that's how I think of it. Like 100 is 100%. Like 1%, you're like, wow, 1% is a pretty low chance. 9.1 billion cards sold.
That's
what?
Actually crazy. Like I'm blown away thinking about a number like that because could you imagine how many football stadiums you could fill with
With
9.1
cards?
billion
I
cards.
know. Oh my god. Or like,
So many.
imagine like shipping containers and how many like cars just stacked on top of each other, on top of a shipping container, on top of another shipping container, on top of another shipping container, on top of a ship that holds the shipping containers. Like,
Yes, exactly.
unbelievable amounts. And that was in 2021, and this was around the time too where they also had their new printing factory, and they were just printing them by the boatload because to keep up with demand. The demand, I think, is pretty satisfied at this point. I think with the dip again, of course, the hype, and then you always enter the lull. I wouldn't say we're in a lull stage. Pokemon's still super popular, of course, but compared to what pandemic levels, we're definitely there's a lot of cards right now, especially with the acquisition of the Millennium Print Group, which we talked about before. And compare that to there's some stats down at the bottom. The viewers might be able to see it, but I'll just read it anyway for the audio listeners. Between 2004 and 2010, so a 6-year period, 14 billion cards worldwide in 30 to 40 countries. So in 6 years, 14 billion. In a single year, 9.1 billion. Like,
it's even staggering because
crazy.
like here's another stat to kind of just more off factor for everybody. March 2020 to March 2021, it was 30.4 total billion to 34.1 billion total. Yep. And that, if I'm doing math correctly, is 3.7 billion. That's just 1 year. So you basically almost triple that amount sold in 1 year from 2021 to 2022, when the previous year was 3.7 billion. And I say that as if like 3.7 billion also isn't a lot, but like it's still a lot. It's just 9.1 billion is exponentially even more so.
Yep. It is huge numbers, like huge. And across 13 languages, which is also ridiculous. I'm like, we're obviously both of us are so used to just seeing English cards and the Japanese cards, but like there's also 11 other languages that they also print cards for. So I mean, this is just off the top of my head, I could be like lying right now, but for me, at least when I lived in the UK, I would see a lot more like German cards as well sometimes. And when I went to Germany a few times, I'd always see like German packs. I actually have a German pack of Platinum Arceus. Or Platinum, cool. Platinum Arceus, the Platinum Arceus set, which I have. I was like, I'll pick it up just as like a souvenir kind of thing, keep it sealed. But 13 languages of cards, that's crazy. Of course, they do Korean cards too. I've actually opened some of them in the past. Korean cards are interesting, just a small little thing. They have the English backing, but they have the Japanese designs and like the holofoil printing and everything on the front. So it's like a half and half, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. There's a little fact for you. But yeah, insane. 9.1 billion cards. That's sold too, so, you know. And I still haven't pulled the Umbreon VMAX. Crazy. Crazy stuff.
One day
I'll get there. But yeah, I thought that was a kind of a cool thing to bring up, because you don't normally...
It's really cool.
Companies don't normally... well, I guess games companies sometimes, they're like, oh, we've sold this many units. But like Pokemon, as an individual card, you get X amount of cards per booster pack, depending on the region you're in. But you're like, whoa, that's a lot of cardboard.
That's a lot of packs. That's so many packs, and that's so much like plastic. I don't know. It's a lot of just stuff when you think about that number.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, and think of how many like rainbow Charizards from like Hidden Fates are out there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of them. There's a whole bunch of them.
It's true.
Yeah, okay. We'll move on to our last section of the week. We haven't done it in a couple of weeks, but I promise we'll do it every single week from now on. It's the Pokemon card of the week. And today,
oh my gosh,
thought we'd feature a card from the Pokemon Go set coming out. It's the Mewtwo V, regular V, not V Max or anything like that. I thought it was a cool looking card, floating through the city. Again, the Pokemon Go artwork being used in the TCG, which is great. Good to see.
Yeah, I love this. I think that the Mewtwo V looks fantastic, and especially as it has like that very alternate art feel to it. I hope that it's gonna be good. I mean, Mew V Max super popular right now, but maybe Mewtwo V will also be good when we get a chance to see these cards enter into the meta. Yeah, that's right. we're gonna have a fully playable set of Pokemon TCG cards getting added to standard.
Yeah, that's crazy because normally those subsets aren't really used, like Hidden Fates, etc., Shining Fates. So having like this Pokemon Go set is going to be kind of neat. Big crossover. Maybe some of the Pokemon Go community will come over to the TCG, play with the cards because it's more familiar. I'm hoping, obviously, I'm assuming that's what the Pokemon company want.
Wait, that reminds me. So this week in Pokemon Twitter news, one of the Pokemon Go players, I believe, actually ended up saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, TCG is not that like it's not that skillful. All the decks play themselves."
Okay.
Okay, I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. So this guy basically said that, and then all of a sudden, 1,000 or so TCG players end up going up into the comments and just writing out tap 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 tap.
Oh
tap,
my,
tap, tap.
savage.
I was like, oh my god. Oh,
The
it's so bad.
crossover for that player, maybe not there. Maybe they don't step their foot in TCG.
Maybe that one. Yeah, maybe that one not so much, but it was pretty funny. I do hope that we get a chance to see it. I'll send you this stuff. Maybe we'll put it in the comments or something, but like it's great. It was just great. Who would win? One Pokemon Go player ripping on the TCG
or the
1,000
TCG,
TCG players spamming tap 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 in his replies.
Oh boy, that's a very quickly muted thread, I think, from their end. Jesus. Pretty savage. That's a good way to end the podcast, I think. A pretty savage way. Well, yeah, send me the link. I'll put it in the description for everybody else to see. Yeah, Rose is going off to the regionals. Wish her luck down in the comments. It's going to be a good time. I'll definitely be watching, and I hope you guys will be as well. But from us, that'll be it. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for more news. Yeah, that's it. See you soon. Bye, guys.